Hi YouTube, and welcome back everyone to Blox on Fire, keeping you posted with the best Roblox tips and updates every week like always. In today's video, we'll be dropping 8 awesome tips for you all to become better players in Roblox Arsenal, along with all of the amazing details too. It's gonna be pretty wild, so make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel before we get started, and without any more drum shorts, let's just go ahead and dive straight into it. Arsenal is a first-person shooter game inspired by another huge non-Roblox game known as Team Fortress 2. It's not entirely inspired by TF2, but it definitely has some noticeable elements in it. It even has a few such as Counter-Strike and Roblox Brick Battle games, which are divided into separate game modes. This game has various amounts of maps, characters, emotes, game modes, and honestly more, making it stick out immensely relatively to other FPS games you can find on Roblox. The gameplay is pretty unique in itself, as well, since you don't have traditional classes you carry around with you everywhere. Instead, every time you get a kill with your weapon, it immediately changes to a different one, really making things interesting. All of the guns have different recoil and shooting patterns, so you really have to adjust yourself when drowning against other players. Otherwise, you'll miss your shots and it'll be too late. So kicking this list off at tip number 8. It would be pretty helpful to start playing other FPS games if you don't already. Simply playing other games in the same genre as Arsenal will help you gain the same skills you need to develop to be a better player. Plus, it's helpful that you aren't playing the exact same game for a long period of time, so there's no way you can get bored, of which is a win-win. Moving on to number 7, having a group of friends to practice makes for great training programs, rather than squatting up with randoms online, because you'll never know their skill levels. And it's not really helpful going up against people who are exponentially better than you, or worse. Finding a good balance in an opponent will show results much faster if you practice with them, so keep that in mind. Up next for tip number 6, make sure to use private or trusted public lobbies to avoid hackers. There's no way to practice and get better in-game if you're in a room with a hacker or more, because that's just a waste of everybody's time in the end. You won't be getting efficient practice, and it's simply no fun playing with cheaters. So move on to another lobby or take a break. For tip number 5, using a crosshair on your monitor could potentially help you in assisting you in aim-wise. So move on to another lobby or take a break. Now that doesn't work for everyone, as some people find it to be annoying and in the way. But most gaming monitors have an option to enable an on-screen crosshair in the middle of your screen that boosts your accuracy in FPS games when used correctly. Just test it out on training or a game or two to see if it actually makes a difference. Because if not, no harm by just removing it later. For number 4, watching gameplay of pro-level Arsenal players is a good way to see what things to do and not to do when playing the game from people who know what they're doing. Simply replicate what they're doing to win all of their games, and practice that intensely until you see results. For number 3, on this list, be sure to practice situational awareness. This is super important in any FPS game with teams on it, because you should always be aware of where the rest of your squad or teammates are, regardless of playing objective or just PvP. It's a nice skill that comes in handy when you really need it, or are on the losing end of the game, so you'll thank us later if you actually take the time to get good in this field. Speaking of teammates, for tip number 2, be sure to be a good teammate. Always listen to what others are targeting, and do not solo out and be the annoying scrub that ends up costing everybody the game. You always remain at a low rank and probably shouldn't be playing the game if you want to stay playing like trash. So just make sure to keep your awareness on your team just as much as you would your opponents. And finally, the last tip we have for you guys is gonna have to be stay away from cheating. As tempting as it may be, if you plan on cheating in any way on this game or any other Roblox experience or any other game in the future, do yourself a favor and uninstall or delete your account or game to save your time and everybody else's. It really is just that simple. But if you decide to truly want to get good and follow the previous pieces of advice we've already stated, stay consistent on your training and you should be good in no time. But go ahead and let us know what you think about Roblox Arsenal down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and what you saw, then be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming uploads. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!